Good morning. Good morning, everyone. We can come and take our seats. We can get started with this morning's plenary. All right. Good morning. We want to take a brief moment of silence to reflect on the lives lost to the acts of violence yesterday in Texas, Buffalo last week, and others that have been shared in the news. So please join me in a quick moment of silence. My name is Kristin Riley, and I am the director of the Choose Clean Water Coalition. On behalf of the staff and steering committee, I want to welcome you to the 2022 Choose Clean Water Conference. We made it. We are here. It's happening. Yes. First off, I want to thank everyone who is attending, both in person and for the first time ever, virtually. For those folks who are in person, we appreciate you understanding our commitment to hosting a safe and healthy conference. Thank you so much for taking the extra steps to make it happen. It has been 3 years. 3 years since we have come together like this. The world has changed dramatically since we last convened, and understandably, so have we. I myself have changed. I became director shortly after our 2019 conference in Baltimore. One pandemic and pandemic baby later, I have never actually spoken as the director at this event, which means I've had 3 years to prepare this speech, which I shouldn't have told you because now the pressure is on. And you would think that after 3 years of writing, I would have found the right words to fully capture our experience, but it has been difficult. The only word I kept coming back to was resilience. It is something that myself and the coalition staff have noted in many a report and document to the effect of our community is resilient in the face of these challenges, and the work continues despite our hurdles. And then 3 days ago, when I was finally writing this speech, I was texting with my good friend, Kate Fritz. You may know her as the director of the Alliance for the Chesapeake Bay. She was asking how the coalition staff was handling the constant changes due to COVID. And I texted her back, we have become used to it. Just constantly pivoting at this point. LOL, emoji crying face. And she said to me, that's the part that's so damn hard. It's hard to maintain that high level of resiliency. And that confirmed the theme for me. In the face of truly unprecedented times, this community has accomplished so much together. We have increased funding for the EPA Chesapeake Bay program, created a new grant program in Chesapeake Wilds, and continued to implement critical on-the-ground restoration projects across the watershed. We have started to acknowledge the history of our nation and the role our movement must play in addressing racism and creating an equal and just society. Our work has been resilient. We have been resilient, but it hasn't been easy. Because while we were continuing our good work together, the world has seemingly turned upside down. We have balanced working from home with learning from home, moments of joy and humanity with moments of pain and sorrow. And after years of trials, challenges, and adaptation, years of being resilient, it is easy to become worn down. Our resilience has brought us this far, and we should be proud of that. But how do we make it the next 3 years? We face a looming 2025 deadline, major pollution reduction gaps, and a changing political landscape. And I have no doubt that we can navigate every challenge that comes to us, but only if we have the strength and capacity to do it. We once had a trainer for our Young Professionals of Color mentorship program, Terry, ask us a simple question. What fills your cup? What she meant was, what brings you joy, energy, revives your spirit? And so I ask you to think about that. Is it standing in the middle of a cool stream with your fly rod? Hiking your favorite trail with your family? Maybe it isn't related to the outdoors at all. Maybe it is listening to your favorite band, reading a book with your child, or maybe it's something as simple as your favorite cup of coffee. For me, it is the look my daughter gives me when I walk in the room, listening to a podcast while taking a walk, and this, you. I gain energy and inspiration from connecting with people, learning more about them as individuals, and also their work and what drives their passion. And I think that is really relevant to this year's conference theme, Revive, Restore, Reimagine. My hope is that you can set aside that need to be resilient for a few days, and that this time here revives something in you that may have been lost. That you feel restored and rejuvenated from this opportunity to be together again, and that you reimagine how we approach our work through a different lens, one that centers the most important part of this restoration effort, you. Thank you. It is now my pleasure to introduce Mary Rafferty from the Virginia Conservation Network.
Good morning. My name is Mary Rafferty. As Kristin said, I'm the Executive Director of the Virginia Conservation Network. It's really nice to be here. For those of you who don't know, the Virginia Conservation Network is a partnership of conservation groups here in Virginia. We work to craft a common policy agenda, educate the public around that policy agenda, and then collectively advocate for that policy agenda here in Richmond. We are also proud to be the state lead of the Choose Clean Water Coalition here in Virginia, as well as having a seat on the steering committee of the Choose Clean Water Coalition. On behalf of our 150 partners all across the Commonwealth of Virginia, and after two and a half long years, we are so excited to welcome you here to Richmond. Welcome. So great to have you here. I want to take a minute to thank Kristin. Thank you for your words just now. And thank you for your leadership over the last long 2.5, 3 years of resilience. And leading a coalition, I know from experience, is really hard work, but it is particularly hard work when you're doing it all over Zoom. When you can't wrangle us with nice dinners and wine, and instead maybe send us something in the mail every once in a while, which thank you, by the way. I also want to thank you for your leadership, because I have to admit, this morning was really hard for me to get out of bed. So that kind of felt true to me this morning. And as I dropped my 6-year-old off for kindergarten, and then I gave a kiss to my 3-year-old on the way to daycare this morning, I thought, I don't know, maybe less is more. Kristin's got this. But then I remembered that I was walking into a room full of incredibly strong people, and particularly had the opportunity to share the stage with 2 incredibly strong women this morning, who show that we can do this, that we all collectively have got this, and that thanks to the leadership of Kristin over the last 3 years, this coalition is stronger than ever. Kristin already just ran through all the things that this coalition has done together. But last night over dinner, I was talking to many of the other steering committee members about how strong this coalition is, how much good work we have done, and really looking forward to all of the incredible work that we're going to do together, not only for all of us in this room today, but for our children who are looking up to us to do it, and for the many future generations along the way. So thank you all, for those of you who also may have had a hard time getting out of bed this morning, for joining us this morning. Really looking forward to all of the collective work that we have done, but also that we will continue to do. So thank you. I have the great pleasure of introducing April Bingham this morning, who's going to also welcome us to Richmond. She is the director of the City of Richmond Department of Public Utilities, a dedicated professional with over 22 years of experience. She sets the strategic vision of the nearly $500 million budget of the Department of Public Utilities here in Richmond. And joined us in 2020, just in 2020. We were just talking about how she came about a month before the pandemic and came from DC and has experienced Richmond really in the time of the pandemic, but how much she enjoys getting out throughout the city. So I hope you follow April's lead in getting out to our city while you are here today at places like Bird Park that she expressed that she likes to attend, and all the other phenomenal outdoor recreation opportunities we have here in Richmond. So please join me in welcoming April to kick off the conference.
Good morning. How's everybody? My grandfather, he's dead and gone, but when he would see us as little children, we would go visit him in the country. And he was so happy to see us. He said, "You all look like new money." So I say to you today, you look like new money. It has been, as I heard Mary and Kristin talk about, 2 years. It has really been a journey for us, but we are stronger and we're more resilient than ever. So first, I want to thank you, Mary, for that great introduction. I appreciate you giving the prelude to me taking the stage. I appreciate that. And to Kristin, I want to thank you for the invitation, as also the hospitality that you've given to the city of Richmond for this prestigious event. So good morning to everyone. I am April Bingham, the City of Richmond Department of Public Utilities Director, and I am excited to bring you greetings on behalf of the City of Richmond, Mayor LeVar Stoney, and our City Administrator Officer, Lincoln Saunders. We are proud to be the host city for the 2022 Choose Clean Water Conference, and certainly hope that you're enjoying your time with here thus far. Mary said it best. I joined the city in February of 2020, and exactly 5 weeks later, the pandemic hit. So one of my favorite sayings in the utility industries, and hopefully some of you'll get this, water is life, but sewer happens every day. Take that with you. As you all know, the city of Richmond is the home of a very precious jewel, the James River, one of our nation's founding rivers. We're especially proud of the collective work that has taken place over the years to clean up this jewel, to let it shine in the spotlight as it has become a preferred gathering spot, a place of recreation, a space for relaxation, and a perfect backdrop for numerous occasions. A lot of the work that we've done over the years has directly contributed to the improved health of the James. And of course, when we have a healthy James, we have a healthy Chesapeake Bay. From the work on the combined sewer system to improvements and upgrades at the water and wastewater treatment plants to the stormwater utility work, we have been working diligently with many partners, including some of you in the room, to get clean water faster. Some of you will hear about some of these upgrades when you tour our wastewater treatment plant later today. It's a fascinating operation, and I'm so glad that you're going to get that opportunity. Some of you will hear more tomorrow when you hear from Pat Bradley, who is our Deputy Director for all things compliance and leading the effort on our CSO CIP upgrades. When we think about the James River and all of the bodies of water to be clean, and how we want to ensure that every citizen has access to clean, safe, and affordable water. As Director of the Public Utilities, it delights me to see this conference convening this week as we revive, restore, and reimagine how we work to continue that goal. In looking at the conference itinerary, I'm encouraged at the breadth of topics you all will delve into. As a city with nearly 25% of its population in poverty, it's important to keep low income and communities of color to the top of our minds when we talk about access to clean, safe, and affordable water. It's also important to go further and ensure that we have the same opportunities and access to the James River and other bodies, as well as access to transformative green spaces. As we talk about water, we acknowledge the vital role of EPA and what they play in protecting our waterways. It's hard to believe it was only 50 years ago that the Clean Water Act was enacted. That was in many of our lifetimes. I've been pleased to see their heightened focus on environmental justice. With so many dedicated to the clean water cause, just imagine the potential we have to truly achieve the best environmental standards while integrating diversity, equity, and inclusion and justice in all that we do. And this is something that can happen in our lifetimes. Though there are many challenges ahead of us, I'm excited about the work and the journey. When we have so many focused on the same end goal, I'm assured we can get there together. Again, welcome to Richmond. I hope you enjoy your stay here. I hope you enjoy the conference. We look forward to hearing all the great ideas and creative solutions that result from your work. In the words of Kristin, let's keep reviving, let's keep restoring, and let's reimagining what clean water is all about. Hashtag resilience and hashtag our work continues. Thank you and welcome to Virginia.
I'm already throwing Drew off. He's like looking at me like, what are you doing? So there are a couple of housekeeping things I just wanted to mention. The QR codes on your table posted throughout the conference spaces. Those will link you to our conference program. So you can just open your camera app there and click on it and it'll open for you. We also have session surveys, QR code posted for the session surveys. So please take those after each session to give us your feedback. And a couple of sponsors I wanted to thank. We could not do this event without our sponsors. It would be impossible. So thank you to everybody who sponsored this event. But the Campbell Foundation, thank you for generously sponsoring this conference every year. National Wildlife Federation and the River Network, whose own conference is coming up in just a week or so. So thank you all so much for helping us put this event on. We can give them a little round of applause for that. And then before he comes up, I just wanted to give a really big shout out to my staff who, without them, this conference would also not happen. Amy Schofield, our planner, who's been with us for every conference except for the first one. And we would definitely not be able to do it without her. And Drew Robinson, he started at the coalition in the fall of 2019, so has never been to an in-person Choose Clean Water conference and has helped to put this on, strategized, and completely created this entire event. So Drew, like, we're here because of you. So thank you so much for all of your hard work. And so big shout out to Drew. But now you can come up here now that I'm there.
All right, we're here. Right. I was never smart enough in high school to be valedictorian, but I remember at the beginning of the speech, the valedictorian took a picture of everybody, and I thought that was a good idea. So, you know, I'll look out for the coalition's Twitter account later. You can see that. As Kristin mentioned, we have more, we couldn't hold this conference without our sponsors, so just a handful more to acknowledge our Potomac sponsors, the Agua Fund, Chesapeake Conservancy, and National Parks Conservation Association. Our Shenandoah sponsors, Challenge Discovery, Chesapeake Bay Foundation, Environmental Defense Fund, Galley Public Affairs, Maryland League of Conservation Voters, Piedmont Environmental Council, Riverside Outfitters, SIRCAP, and last but not least, this is very important for this evening, Vossen Brewery. So we're really excited to have them, to have 20 cases of beer in my trunk. So head out to a Main Street station this evening and join us. We're having a good time. We have wine too. So if you're not a beer person. What else? So yeah, as Kristin mentioned, please, we really do appreciate when you take the time to review each session, but then also post-conference. We really take that feedback into consideration when we're planning future conferences and events. So appreciate that. I know that I've heard several people say over the past day or so that people just come here for the networking, and I totally get it. It's one of the reasons why we're really excited to be here in person. But on behalf of the conference planning committee, a lot of hard work is put into the sessions that are and workshops that are going to be held over the next couple of days, and lots of really fantastic lineup. We're really appreciative for all the presenters applying to present. Really excited for all those. So as Kristin mentioned, yeah, we have the programs available through that QR code, and I know everyone's phone is full of apps already, but if you want to add one more, the CVent app is a great one. You can get the whole layout of the whole session of the whole conference and plan your time here. One other housekeeping note, as you might have seen, we have some sessions that are going to be outside. We have a pool deck upstairs. It's on the 3rd floor. Go the opposite direction that George Washington is pointed. I don't know what that says, but go to the pool deck, and some of the pillows are a little bit damp, but just check for that, and you'll be good to go. One other housekeeping, almost done here, is the South Wings trip, unfortunately, is canceled due to weather this afternoon. But see Amy if you have any other, if you'd like to attend another field trip. There are plenty of spots open on other field trips. So 2 more things, I promise. Tomorrow at this time, we'll be having roundtable discussions, so you can choose your own adventure of what you would like to talk about. So we'll have stream restoration, and Peter and I will probably talk about baseball. You can come join us. There's lots of opportunities to select what you want to talk about with your fellow conference attendees. And with that, now is the time for us to reconnect with one another. We're actually 3D in person, so we're going to open it up for general meet and greet or mingle, and then we're going to be starting sessions at 10 o'clock. So looking forward to it. So thanks again for everyone for coming.